Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of TJ Plays with some AI stuff. I'm going to continue on with the Figma Console MCP edition. And one thing that I want to do in this demo is show just some pure design creation straight from the mind of Claude in partnership with the Figma Console MCP, along with a really well done design system, and then just to see what it could do. No visual aids, no real fancy prompting, just let's see what Claude can do with what it's given with the tools from the Figma Console MCP and the design system. So right here, I'm using the material design system. It has standard material components in here. So what I'm going to do right here is just say, can you please create a mobile login / sign up screen for a fictitious fintech app that allows you to track your finances? Also, make sure to use the components and token architecture from the design system that you're currently on. Also, please confirm that you're on material right now. So that part is pretty important too. The reason I'm doing this demo is because we've seen a lot of demos and there's a lot of discussion around how designs that have already been designed can move to code. So that's kind of the traditional design to code that was already done with the original Figma official dev mode MCP. And then recently there was the Claude code to Figma feature to it that was added where you can now take HTML designs and then bring them back into Figma. But all of those are starting with something that's either a design or code. So the purpose of this was to say, let's start with something just completely new and then see what it's able to do. So let's see if it's got anything going. It looks like it's already starting to do something behind me. So I'm going to let this execution go. So I'll zoom in a little bit and then just kind of let it do its thing. And I'll switch back and forth every once in a while to show where it's at. So it looks like it's got the frame in there, and here's the mobile layout. All right, looks like it's took the screenshot. It sees the phone frame centered in the window. It's got the surface color bound to variables. Now it's moving on to phase 2, which is saying a status bar in hero section. So it ran the execute, and then we should see that status bar pop up here. Here it is. So it's starting to put together a little bit of a header part. Looks like it got a time in there, and it put a little battery symbol, and now it's calling it Vault. It came up with a name for it. That's pretty cool too. All right, now it looks like it's adding form fields to it. That's looking pretty good. And just as a reminder, if I click in here, these are actually using real components in here. This is an actual input field component. Those are actual icons. And the variables, as you can see down here, are pulling straight from the variables table. All right, now it looks like since those fields have been added, those are looking good. It's moving on to another phase, which is going to be a call to action button. All right, so it did see some issues with some spacing. And then, yep, it looks like it went back and it fixed it. Added in some nice horizontal rules here with these buttons. These buttons are actual component buttons. So that part is looking good. Now it's looking like it's moving on to phase 5, which is polish. All right, it added some polish. This is looking pretty tight. Now, I did nothing here. Like, all I did from the beginning, as you saw, was a fairly generic prompt, and then this is what it came up with. So I'm pretty happy with this. I should be able to go in here and then go here and switch to one of these modes. And yeah, everything's looking pretty good there. Looks good there. Switches these. Oh, that's great too. awesome. Love it. So since it's tied to the components and the variables, I'm able to switch those variable modes. Now let's take it one step further. Let's go ahead and create a new variable mode for a brutalist variable mode. And then once you create that variable mode, let's clone this layout and then add some brutalist styles to it. So now we have a sub-agent called UI designer. It's pulling out the sub-agent. Sub-agent is grabbing some ideas from the concepts of the brutalist style, and it's creating this mode for brutalist. And we could probably see that real time if we go here. And then here it is. So it looks like it might have cloned it, and then it'll likely go back and update the values that are in here. But there's the mode that it just created. This one did not exist. When I had pulled the table open earlier, it was not there. This one is a brand new one that has just been created. It's cool that it did say the UI designer agent delivered a comprehensive brutalist spec, acid yellow primary on near black, 0 corner radii, space mono font, aggressive typography. This should be pretty cool. All right, now it's running the Figma batch update variables tool that we have. So now when we look at the brutalist variable mode, you can see that it's pretty brutalist. That's some pretty brutalist colors that are in there. So we'll let it finish its thing. It looks like it's doing something back here now. All right. Oh, here it comes. Looks like it's putting it right on top, but when it takes the screenshot, it should be able to sort that out. Yep, you can see it just centered them like that. I love that it's aware. When it takes those screenshots, it just says, hey, something needs to happen, and then adjusts for it. I think that's so cool. But man, this is great. It created a variable mode, totally made up, using another agent to use the same components from this component library to give it a brand new theme. I mean, obviously this isn't, I don't know, this could be shippable for some people, but you might want to put a logo here, change some of the topography of the logo, but this is awesome. And then, so if I go to this guy, I should be able to go here and change any of these things too. And then there it is. Now I have this version in this mode. Like, it's such an awesome way that I can switch through all these different ways of mixing and matching the stuff. And this is kind of the cool and creative parts of this tool, where you can use it not just to like design the thing, you can use it to test stuff, and you can keep this going. Like, I can do another version of this and say, all right, show me the futuristic mode. Use the UI design agent to create for me a futuristic variable mode, and clone me another screen with the same components, and then generate that look and feel for it. So I don't know. I think this is like well beyond, let's take an existing design thing and move it to code, or take a coded thing and then move it back into design. I think there's a lot of space here for iteration and exploration and creativity. And I think that this is a tool that really helps leverage that. Now it's still doing stuff. I don't even know what it's doing. Look what it did. It took the logo and it made it all capital. It updated this little logo and made it rounded corners and more boxy. It took this font and made it all caps. And so it's like, this is the AI just having fun with it. It got some instructions from the UI designer, and now it's just getting goofy with this layout. And I'm not even doing anything. I'm just like letting it go. But it looks like this context window is coming to a close, and this is probably going to keep running, but I'm going to stop it here and say, I encourage you to use this tool to go beyond what you're seeing or what your normal inclination would be to do something with this. this can be a design tool. This isn't a tool that's going to replace humans, but it will support creativity. It will support exploration. And that's what I want people to understand about this. This isn't just a shifting from one place to another. This is something that you can use from the start to explore what it would be like to create mood boards and things on the Figma canvas before you even start carving out components. So anyway, I hope this is of value to some of you. But if you like what you see here, please reach out. I'm happy to talk to anybody about any of this stuff. If you have any trouble getting it set up, I'm happy to help too. And yeah, I'll see you all next time.